This is Dr. Jaya Sajnani. This is our first ever members meeting for the GSFE, which is a global society for female entrepreneur. And we are so honored to have a founder of GSFE, Lady Ambassador Dr. Robbie Motor with us. So thank you so much for joining, Lady Motor.
I just want to put your mind at ease, okay? Because there are no experts in AI. This is new. This is like, if anything, you guys are the trailblazers, even if you don't know, because keep this in mind, the version of like ChatGPT or whatever you're using is the dumbest version that will ever be on this planet, right? Because she's getting smarter and smarter. We're teaching her and she's growing. So like, you are not behind. Just the fact that you're open-minded and willing to listen and willing to try new things, that puts you ahead of the game.
Yeah.
So first I wanted to say that. Did you want me to go ahead and present now, Dr. Jaya, or do you have
Yeah,
more
that would be
goodies or?
fantastic. I
Okay, I
think
just
that would be
wasn't sure.
fantastic.
Okay, great. I have so many beautiful faces in this group today. Hello, ladies. And let me just say this. I think that every single one of you are brilliant and amazing. And guess what else? Keeping a secret. Now, this is a secret you were actually born to share, right? Because this is a secret about who you are, what you do, your essence. And this secret is your brand. All right. So if you're keeping that secret, you're not teaching the world about your brand. Now, I have plenty of secrets, don't get me wrong. Yeah, like, well, I'm bossy and controlling, but I'm silly and creative and I can be passive aggressive, right? But I'm detail oriented and I'm hardworking. And the truth is, some say I'm an acquired taste. I'm okay with that. But you have a secret too. And this is something that's inside of you. It's something so intrinsic, like you're not even sure where it came from. And we're going to talk a lot about that today. So let me go ahead and share my screen. And let's see. Okay. Oops. Wait. First I have to share my screen. And then I have a Band-Aid on my forehead in case anybody's wondering if they're trying. So yeah, skin cancer prevention, people, get your skin checked. So okay, let me share my screen. First, I'm going to share this one. Okay. Do you see that beautiful landscape? All right. There we go. All right. So you can see my screen, right? Okay. And not the screen with all the notes, because that's not cool. Okay. Well, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Wendy Brar, and I'm the CEO and founder of Intelligent Brands and the Women's Business Link. And I've been doing this a long time. I have an MS in branding and marketing, and I've worked with clients like RCA Records and Rockefeller Center and MTV, just slews of clients on their marketing and promotion strategies. I believe in diversity and equality and freedom of speech. I love puzzles and art and rock and roll and the beach. I was raised by entrepreneurs. My grandfather owned a pawn shop, and my mom owned several businesses, including a record store and a head shop. And for those of you that are too young to recognize the term, or maybe it's not even the same term in the UK, well, a head shop back in the 70s was a store with which you would buy paraphernalia to smoke your weed. Yep, thanks, Mom. Well, great experience. But I loved working there. I loved working with clients and teaching them and showing them all the new products and all the shiny things in the store. I literally came out of the womb as an entrepreneur. And I myself have owned several businesses throughout my life. I owned a record label for a while, and I had a promotions company, and what else? Oh my gosh, so many different kinds of businesses throughout my life. I also love technology and innovation. And I've been using AI within my business for several years now, just experimenting with all the ways that little old entrepreneurs like us can get further faster using AI. And the short answer, do you know what I'm going to say? Yep, branding. Branding is the short answer. And this is what a lot of people don't talk about when it comes to AI. Yes, ChatGPT can help you get further faster, but things have changed. Okay, marketing has changed. People respond better to authenticity. And they can tell if your content sounds canned and bland and boring. So you have to teach your AI assistant who you are as a brand so that she can generate relevant content on your behalf. Content that sounds and feels like you, right? That expresses that secret we were talking about. So let's get started just with the basics, right? So what is branding? Well, branding is a perception. It lives and breathes in the mind of your public. So whatever people are thinking and saying about your brand, guess what? That actually is your brand. And brand perception is owned by the public, not by the business itself, right? So how do you control a narrative? The narrative. Branding is the persona of a company. It's a mechanism used to tap into your unique distinctions. At the end of the day, branding is about being remembered and being relatable, and it's about building a fan base. It can attract your ideal client like a magnet. Customers, clients, people want to do business with people. And they want the brands that they choose to be in alignment with their own personal value system. And the truth is, if your business can't engage on that level, you simply will not be able to connect with those that need you the most. AI generated content without the brand voice and personality to make it feel approachable. Well, it's like a gorgeous outfit on a mannequin, right? Because there's nothing under the decor to substantiate the brand. And so therefore, the conversation will just fall flat. Kind of like when you have a conversation with a mannequin, right? Forward-thinking business owners are thrilled because they see it as a way to get some of their time back, right? Dr. Jaya just said that. She really wants to have that at her fingertips. She wants to understand how to get further faster. So business owners are experimenting, right, by generating AI content, right? It's a lot of content that they're generating. So much content, it's a lot. But they noticed this. They noticed that it started feeling impersonal, just like everyone else's content. So they started learning how to prompt, right? By saying things like, write this in the voice of Oprah Winfrey or Tony Robbins or Matthew McConaughey, right? And that was fun. I did it. But do you see a problem with that? Yes, because if you're not Oprah or Tony or Matthew, well, then you're generating content that is not speaking in your own unique brand voice. And that's a problem. I talk to business owners every single day, and they have genuine concerns. They ask me, is it okay to share my proprietary information with AI? And can it save me money? Or can it make me more money? And is it even worth investing my time? Is it going away? Right? But my favorite question that they ask me is, how do I make it sound like me? Yes. So I'm going to open the chat just in case there's anything exciting. I have FOMO when I have the chat closed. Like, what am I missing? So today I want to share 3 action steps that you need to take right now so that you can really dial in your brand messaging. So we're going to talk about how to develop a brand voice that speaks to who you are on the inside, and how to connect with your dream client on an emotional level, and how to access your secret inner unicorn, right? That's your unique ability. This is that intrinsic secret that only you have. Okay, let's get started. We're going to start with your brand voice but before you can truly take your AI out for a spin, you have to teach her who you are as a brand. So yes, you're going to have to make some important decisions regarding your brand voice. Now, if you could let me know in the chat, if you're already using AI, let me know in the chat. If you're using ChatGPT or Gemini or Claude or whatever you're using, let me know in the chat. So there's a recipe, right? Make it super easy. There's a recipe. This is how you develop your unique brand voice. You take your distinct personality. Now that's your secret that we talked about at the beginning. And then you add in your love language. What is that? These are words and phrases that you use often in conversation, kind of like your super sassy inner unique unicorn, right? Like those are some of my words that I use. That's my love language. And you put those together, and that equals your unique brand voice. Listen, your brand voice is different. And I get that, but it doesn't really matter if I get it, right? What matters is that you communicate the essence of your brand voice to ChatGPT so that it resonates with your ideal client. So I guess you're going to need to know who that is. And that leads us to tip number 2. So knowing and understanding your dream client goes way beyond demographics, right? And when I'm thinking about my dream client, I'm thinking about a client maybe that I've worked with in the past. And that's what I want you to focus on. Think about somebody that you worked with in the past. Now, this was somebody that really got you, right? They got you, and they appreciated all the effort that you put into your interaction with them. They could see the gifts that you were bringing to the table, right? So this is somebody that you loved working with. You guys all have a vision in your head of somebody that you've worked with in the past that you loved working with? Now, next, we want to define who that is. But you've got to keep in mind that your ideal client is on a journey, right? And it's your job to understand them. Like what are their goals and desires, right? What does your dream client wish for? What are their challenges and their fears? And what does failure look like to them? And you might be thinking, what does this have to do with AI? What does this even have to do with ChatGPT? Right? Because if you don't understand these items, if you don't understand your ideal client on an emotional level, how can you tell ChatGPT? How can you fold that information in so that your content is speaking directly to them, so that your value system is in alignment with theirs? And then, more importantly than all of these things, is to understand what are the emotional repercussions to them, to either getting or not getting their problem solved. I mean, don't assume that you understand their struggles until you actually do. And guess what? If we take some time on the front end to really develop the persona of our ideal client, AI will take it and run with it. It improves the quality of your output tremendously. Okay, I see a lot of people have mentioned that they're using ChatGPT a little bit. They're just starting to learn. Oh, Susie, I'm having so much fun teaching Susie how to stick her toe in the water. Um, and then let's see, Dr. Verlaine, right? Yes, it's so helpful, right? Yes, you can. You can write articles, you can write books, you can write material. Have you populated your custom instructions? That's what I want to know. Have you gone into ChatGPT and populated your custom instructions?
Yes, I have
Okay,
done that. It's wonderful. It
excellent.
helps so
And
much.
before, so much, right? And before you can populate your custom instructions, you have to have the details. And I'm happy to open up, fire up my Chat GPT and show you where that information is.
Yeah, Wendy, can
Yes,
I ask you a question? I have no idea what is
yes.
custom instruction and how to set up this. Would you help
Why don't
us?
I show you? After I finish my presentation,
Yeah,
I will fire up Chat GPT and I'll show you guys what I included in my custom instructions. And then to kind
excellent.
of give you an idea of how to move forward.
And what's
Excellent.
nice is it keeps a list of all of the things you've asked, all the responses.
Yes. Well, in your custom instructions is a little bit different than your menu. But yes, absolutely. And you can change it at any time. So yeah, we'll play around with that. So that brings us to tip number 3, and this is your inner unicorn. All right. Make sure that all the while, as you're developing your brand voice and you're identifying your dream client and you're learning the technology and you're creating all your juicy offerings, that you focus on your own unique ability, right? What is it that you do different than anybody else? It doesn't matter if you have competitors, really, does it? Because there's only one you. So, what is it that really makes you different? Right? I want you to go deep here. The deeper you go, then the more relevant your content will be. So, what's yours? What's the first thing that popped into your head? You can share it in the chat if you're comfortable. Like 3 words or less. What is your unique ability? For example, my unique ability is my creative perspective. Right? I can offer my clients unique, out of the box solutions to their complex business and marketing problems. Right? So don't be like anyone else. Just be you. Comedy, education, Saudi as a survivor, Dr. Verlaine tapping into other dimensions. Ooh, I want to hear more about that. Excellent. According to Forbes, clients are willing to pay up to 26% more for a product or service that leverages its unique differentiation. And guess what? If you are a service provider or a speaker or a coach, it can be up to 56% more. So really understanding what makes you unique, well, that's your secret sauce. That's your magic. And I mean, you can't really expect people to be attracted to you and your energy if you're keeping your brand a secret, right? So show them who you are on the inside. Have fun with it. Ask ChatGPT, like if you've never used it before, right? Because if you're just dabbling, ask ChatGPT for a recipe or vacation ideas. Or one time I was in New York City and I was staying at a hotel in like the Chelsea area. So I asked ChatGPT to plan my whole day. I told her that I wanted to go to a thrift stores all in a 2-mile radius around the hotel. And I wanted to see and they had to specialize in clothing, right? Like thrift stores that specialize in like antique clothing, etc. And that halfway through, I'm going to want to stop for lunch. I wanted her to plan that for me too. At 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, you're going to stop for lunch, and here's the restaurant that'll be in that area. But they don't open until this time, and right? And then taking it a little bit further, check this out. My husband and I had a slab leak. So we had a little mini flood in our kitchen. So they had to rip out the whole kitchen and ripped out our laundry room, half of our garage and our hallway. I mean, like we have it's bones in there. So we had to file an insurance claim, right? So now I'm emotional, man. You ripped out my whole kitchen. It's going to be Thanksgiving. It's really urgent. And then I realized I had to remove the emotion from the whole conversation. So I got ChatGPT involved, and I asked her to craft every single solitary email that I would write to the claims adjuster. And I told her, these were the prompts I used. I told her, write it as if, 1, I know my rights, 2, I know the law, and 3, I might even be a lawyer. Who knows? And so every single one of the emails, they started out really friendly. Hey, Peter, that's his name. Hey, Peter, just checking on the claim. And then they started getting more serious and more direct. And I asked her, I said, this seems kind of direct, kind of impersonal even. And she said, yes. And let me tell you why. And she listed out all the reasons why her tone has changed and the importance of this tone change. It was brilliant. And so I don't even write 2 or 3 sentences to Peter without ChatGPT. It's amazing. So if you haven't done anything, try it. Just try a little case study. Now, after you've added your brand details to the custom instructions, and I'm going to show you that in just a minute, this is a trick. There's a simple 1-word command that changes everything. You ask ChatGPT to humanize your content and make it more relatable and engaging. It's like magic. She knows that word. It's written in the code. And speaking of things that are written in the code, so have you ever noticed that you ask ChatGPT for something and she gives you the wrong answer? They call that hallucinating. And let me explain to you why she's not always right. This is why you have to edit. Okay, always edit. Because written in the code, ChatGPT was taught to be a helpful assistant. So she's a helpful assistant. So that's why she's always so polite to you. But that's also why sometimes she gives you the wrong answer, because she is programmed to be a helpful assistant and telling you, yeah, I don't know, like your teenage son or daughter would. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Instead, she just gives you an answer, any old answer. So editing is critical. Listen, your success with AI, your success in your business, your success with your clients is always going to begin with your brand. It just will. This is how you attract brand recognition, brand awareness, brand connection. All of this leads to clients and stages and cash. It just does. So I have a little gift for you guys. This is the 10 steps to activate your AI brand cheat sheet. This will just get you started so you can scan the code, and I'll also post the link in the chat. So here, I'll just pop this. I think I can do that. So here's the link. There we go. Okay, so there's the link in the chat. You can scan this. This is just 10 steps to activate your AI brand. This will just get you started. It's super simple. You can just follow along. You'll also start receiving an email sequence related to each of the steps to kind of give you additional information, additional help. Now, I realize that that was a whole lot of information. right? And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, how do I take all this valuable information and turn it into lasting transformation for my business, for myself? Well, if you're developing content for your business, you need to do the heavy lifting, which is develop a solid, relevant brand for your business, one that speaks to who you are on the inside. And that's why I created the Impactors Global Mastermind, because I saw so many entrepreneurs with their back against the wall. They just struggled with visibility. So that unique, that super sassy secret inner unicorn just kind of had its back against the wall. And I felt like it was just a crime. And also, I noticed that so many entrepreneurs are also solopreneurs. They work by themselves. They feel isolated. They don't have peer-to-peer interaction just to run, ideas by and say, yeah, these are my juicy offerings I'm creating. What do you think? Right? So I created the Impactors Global Mastermind for that reason, just to help entrepreneurs be seen, be heard, be recognized for the skills that they bring to the table. So if you're feeling like, okay, all of this is a lot, and I could use some more support around this, I'm trying to build, grow, and scale a sustainable business, schedule a call with me. I'll pop this one into the chat too. This is the AI Impact Assessment call, and oops, that's not even the right link. It's IAC. There we go. I'm not sure if this link, hopefully this link works. If not, I have it. Nope, that's wrong. So what we'll do is we'll get on a call and we'll talk about it. You're going to explain your business model to me. And we're going to do, it's that, remember I told you what my secret unique ability was? My creative perspective. That's what we're going to do. We're going to have that peer-to-peer interaction. We're going to talk about where you are in your business and how you can get further faster. So let me see. I think that works. If it doesn't work, let me know. You might have to copy it and paste it because you can see how the IAC is black and the rest of it's not. And okay. So I'll repost it when I get back in the room. Listen, we cannot put the AI genie back in the bottle. She is out there and she is soaring at great speeds, with or without you. So you have to take action now. Just get started. It's like computers. They're not going anywhere. The internet, not going anywhere, right? Cell phones, smartphones, right? We've seen a lot of change. And AI is just another one of those things that we're going to have to embrace so we can get the most out of it. Remember, there is no one like you in the world. Even if your business has competitors, I don't care. Yours is unique. Nobody does what you do the same way you do it because the super sassy secret inner unicorn is you. It's always been you. So now get out there, shake hands, kiss babies, and be your brand. And remember, you can't say the wrong thing to the right people, and you can't say the right thing to the wrong people. So I'm going to just show you a little glimpse. How was that? Was that good?
Wow,
Okay,
that
let me.
was brilliant. Thank you so much, Wendy.
Aw, thank you.
I
You're too
need to
kind.
learn how do I put the instruction on my chat GPT.
Okay,
I definitely need to learn.
okay. So I have lots and lots of fun goodies. I'm going to share my screen again, and this time I'm going to share this one. Share. So this is my chat GPT. I call her Chatty Cathy because to me, she's a female. She has to be a female. As you can see, I use this all the time, right? So over here, here's the maximizing insurance payout, right? So that's what I was talking to you about. And here's all my email sequence. Look how many it's not even funny how many I've created. But if you open ChatGPT and you go over here right? Do you see my little icon in the top right corner where it says WE? That stands, I guess, for Wendy. I don't know why it's not WB. It kind of bugs me. Okay, if I click on that, do you see it says my plan, my GPTs, customized GPT, chat GPT? That's it right there. So I click on that and here's my custom instructions. And so there are two sections. One says, what would you like ChatGPT to know about you to provide better responses? And again, if you really wrap your head around your brand and your marketing strategy, you'll be able to populate your custom instructions even more effectively. And I change it all the time. So don't feel like it's one and done. So this is a good example. Like this says, Wendy Brar has a great sense of humor. She's fun, silly. Uh-oh, let me mute. Okay. Wendy Brar has a great sense of humor. She's fun, silly, nurturing, and wicked smart. She's a business growth strategist focused on branding, marketing, and business growth strategies. Talk about repetitive. See, I'll change that right away. She helps brilliant, purpose-driven entrepreneurs build a brand voice and create marketing momentum using generative AI and ChatGPT to create content that connects emotionally with their target audience so that they can attract their ideal client like a magnet, make more sales, and impact the world. She does this in her Impactors Global Mastermind and her Women's Business Link Global Network, where she collaborates with entrepreneurs to build, grow, and scale successful businesses. Wendy Brar integrates cutting edge generative, let's see, oh, there we go. Wendy Brar integrates cutting edge generative AI and ChatGPT technology in her branding and marketing strategies, enabling entrepreneurs to create emotionally engaging content that resonates with their audience on a deeper level. This advanced approach ensures that clients stand out in a crowded digital landscape. And so then down here, I've got brand personality. Right? Wendy Brar's brand personality is innovative, supportive, and insightful. She embodies a forward-thinking approach, staying ahead of trends with the use of cutting-edge technology while offering a nurturing environment for entrepreneurs to thrive. Tone. The tone is professional, yet fun and approachable with an emphasis on inspiration and empowerment. Wendy's language is confident and encouraging, aiming to instill a sense of capability and motivation in our audience. So that's the top part, right? How, what do I want ChatGPT to know about me? And then the bottom part is how I want ChatGPT to respond to me, right? How do I want it, like when she develops a chat for me and content for me, how do I want her to respond? So act like a high-level business strategist with an extensive background in marketing, in branding and marketing. You are an AI educator and enthusiast. Your language style is clear and direct, using industry-specific terminology like branding, brand voice and tone, marketing strategies, online business activator, generative AI, and ChatGPT to establish authority. Wendy balances technical terms with emotional resonant words like engaging, resonates, emotional connection, deeper level to connect with her audience personally. And then themes and messages. Key themes include creativity, innovation, emotional connection, community support. Messages focus on transformative power and advanced technology. Now, you guys get it, right? It's not something that I wrote in passing. This is detailed based on the development of my brand, my programs, products, and services, my marketing strategy, right? My ideal client, so specific, right? And my background, right? Because Wendy has, write this like a high-level business strategist. Well, that is what I am, with an extensive background in branding and marketing. Well, that's what I am, right? So the whole thing is developed outside of this window. So you develop all of this outside of this window, and then you can copy and paste it. And then after that, I can copy this and paste it in a chat GPT and ask her to make it more succinct, more relevant to who I am. So Yeah, and it goes down to themes and messages and my tone, and we collaborate with. Oh, this is important too. I ask her, there are certain words that I tell her not to say, like trailblazer and, unleash. Like I would never say that. I tell her that all the time, like I would never say that. And then I ask her to make it fun and playful and casual and professional, but not too pushy or impersonal, and avoid using a lot of emojis unless I specifically ask for them to be included. And then I tell her, we're going to collaborate on this work together. So you can feel free to ask me questions along the way for clarification. And I will tell you if the response should be longer or shorter. So it's really just being that clear. And then down here, you can see that these are the capabilities that I've, you can just, if you want ChatGPT to be able to search the web, if you want ChatGPT to use Dolly to create imagery, you can specify all of that here. And then you tell it to enable this for new chats. Is that helpful? Does anybody have any questions?
Yes, I think there's a
Yes.
question from Dana on the chat.
Oh, okay, here, I'm gonna stop sharing and then I'm gonna look at the chat
Yes.
and then, let's see. Oh, I see a note from Carol as well. She said her internet connection is weak and can I send out the links to the attendees after the meeting? Absolutely. Okay, Donna.
Hi. Hi, how are you? Thank you so much for your presentation. I think it's very interesting, very relevant. It's exactly what or everyone, be it you're a sole trader or you're involved in the corporate world like I am, it's so relevant, talking about AI. One of the big themes coming out of AI now, and I know this is not the topic of the presentation per se, but it is cybersecurity while navigating the world of AI. So, for example, how much information are we going to put out there before it becomes a problem, or the AI is kind of picking up a lot of personal information that we're putting into their programming. So I just wanted to find out what your thoughts are on managing that while we're effectively navigating AI and using it to aid our brand building, etc.
Excellent. Is it Dana or Donna?
It's Dana. Yeah. Thank you so
Dana,
much.
got it.
Yeah.
So those are great questions. And actually, I love talking about this topic. And I love talking about the future of AI. That just, my mind just goes there. Yeah, I bore my husband to death with this topic. So, and my husband actually has a degree in cybersecurity and he's a Python developer. So he works on the back end and writes code. So, ChatGPT was written with Python, which is a coding language. So, but yeah, he doesn't want to talk about it all the time like I do. So this is the best rule of thumb. Don't share anything with ChatGPT that you wouldn't share on your website. Okay, so you're not going to share your social security number on your website. You're not going to share your blood type or your bank accounts or your passwords, or you would never share that on your website. So think of ChatGPT as, especially for our purposes, as your marketing assistant. So imagine that you had a living, human, breathing assistant sitting next to you in the next desk. You still wouldn't give her your passwords and your to your bank accounts. You still wouldn't give her your social security number, etc. Or she would be signing documentation saying that she's so sued if she was to share that, right? Non-disclosures, etc. Well, you can't use ChatGPT for that. Like you can't ask ChatGPT to sign a non-disclosure. So I think common sense. So even though like I have her doing the maximizing my insurance payout, right? And she does have the claim number. And so it did occur to me that I don't know, 10 years from now, when I go to get homeowners insurance, that ChatGPT says, Wendy Brar filed a claim back in 2024, and, we gave her a whole lot of money. And yeah, so like it did occur to me, but I think that information can get out there anyway. So I think that it's inevitable. AI is inevitable because now there are AI chatbots and AI machines, so that when you call up your bank, right, you're talking to an AI and you're telling this AI your bank account number or the last 4 digits of your social. So all you can do is proceed with caution. Okay, that means that you have to be diligent about watching your personal information, making sure you haven't been hacked, or that you haven't been, that your bank accounts haven't been accessed or violated. I don't know if that helps, Dana, but yeah, the rule of thumb, if you wouldn't share it on your social media or on your website, don't share it with ChatGPT. There's other ways to word it without including that information. Does anybody else have any questions?
Yes, I do. Just want to find out when you tell ChatGPT to write something for you, who is the owner of the property? Does it belong to ChatGPT? And can they sue you? Can they use it for something else? Because
Absolutely. It belongs to you. Like, I mean, we're not that important in the big scope of things, right? I'm just saying, like, so my little content about branding, whatever. Most people work with me because they love Wendy, right? Not because you can still get branding and marketing and even business growth strategies from someone else. They work with me because I'm me. So, yeah, I think that ultimately you're right. Absolutely. It's, your proprietary information. You can't even imagine how many chats I have. I mean, I've been using ChatGPT forever. All right. So that content, I believe all of that content is stored in a database. And so when somebody else goes in, like you, let's say you went in there and you're like, yeah, tell me, I'm creating a workbook called 10 Steps to Activate Your AI Brand. The chances are pretty good that she's going to access everything she can find on that, and it might even be my data. But also, I don't think the database that we're working with, I think that the database that we're working with right now with ChatGPT comes from early 23. So anything that was created in 24, she doesn't really have access to, but she will. She will. So yeah, I say I don't really think that there's anything you can really do about that. The way that what I decided to do is, 1, secure my URLs, and 2, trademark and copyright legally. So like Intelligent Brands, I've already filed for a copyright, right? And for the Women's Business Link, which is I didn't really talk about that very much, but Women's Business Link is I have a networking group, an organization called the Women's Business Link that originally started as a NAFI chapter, and Robbie was my director at that time. So I've known Robbie because we started Women's Business Link in 2003. So I've known Robbie 21 years. So that's why I can't tell you how excited I am to be here and to be back in like her world and to be active in GSFE, because it's a brilliant organization. But Women's Business Link, right? Because Women's Business Link is trademark. I have a trademark pending for Women's Business Link. And then whenever I create something new, like I just created, I'm writing a book, and I just created a bunch of content and a course called The Nuances of Networking, right? So first thing I did, I secured the URL. So that it's documented that I had it first. Because if you did go and fight for your company name or your content, you want to be able to prove that you had it first. I don't know if any of you remember, but in the old days, way back in the old days, they used to say if you write a letter, so like you postmark a letter, an actual written letter to yourself, but you don't open it, and it's postmarked, you can say, I just created a workbook called 10 Tips to Activate Your AI Brand. This name, I'm the first one to have this name. And then you mail it to yourself, but you don't open it. So then if there's ever a court case pending, you can say, here's the document. And I didn't create it yesterday or today because you can see it's postmarked. So that's how we used to do it in the old days. But yeah, I say spend the money and trademark and copyright, if it means that much to you. Otherwise, ask yourself if this content is probably already out there anyway, like branding, brand voice. There's so many experts that talk about brand voice and tone, right? So there's a lot of experts out there talking about that. So my content, while, I use my secret love language and I, use my inner uniqueness, so it's still already out there, the basis.
Thank you very much.
I don't know if that helped, but yeah,
Yeah, it
like
does.
we just kind of.
Thank you.
Dr. Verlaine. Wait, you're muted. Wait, Dr. Verlaine, you're muted.
The
There, I just
comment
unmuted you.
that I'd like to make is that.
No,
Okay.
you're good.
Am
You're
I
good.
in?
We can hear you. Yeah.
Can you hear me now? Okay.
Yes.
Is that what you have shown and what I experienced also, and realized I need to go back in and look again at what I wrote, is it's really testing and making you look at yourself and what you really mean about what you're doing in your business, how you're relating to other people. That is a deep, deep story that you put up there, and you did a fabulous job of writing it in depth. And so I think for everybody realize that this is a journey to yourself at the same time that it is finding a way to communicate with other people. And I appreciate it. Okay, and then so one question, is there a favorite video making app that you like to use?
Well, I like video.ai, VIDYO. I use that, VIDYO.ai. I put it in the chat. Oh no, it corrected. It's not EO, it's YO. Video. And then there's another one called Opus that a lot of people like. I haven't used Opus just because I already paid for a subscription to video, but it's really cool. You can upload your video, it will take it and it will divide it into clips, and it's pretty cool because it'll divide it into these little short clips and it'll give it a rating. So like the clips at the top are like, 89% and, 85%, 84%, 79%, 74. So then it gives you a rating to let you know which of these videos the AI thinks will be most effective out there, which videos are the most comprehensive. And so then you go in and edit it and change certain things and then roll it out on Instagram and on TikTok, etc.
And
as
then
clips.
image makers, I've
Well,
used some, but some seem so complicated, wonderful.
yeah,
But
there's so many. I think that ChatGPT can use Dolly, and that's really cool. And you can do a fun activity like I'm going to pop this over here. I don't want anybody to leave without being able to get in touch with me. And then I want to make sure you guys have the other link as well before people start leaving. So I feel like Midjourney is the best, though. Midjourney is always going to be the best because it's the first one and that's all it does. And then Canva has a pretty good AI tool, but here's the thing. When you create humans using an AI tool, you have to count all the fingers and toes, maybe even the nose, because sometimes you'll have two noses or you'll have like 3 fingers on each hand or something like that. So you
Right.
just have to kind of make sure that, yeah, that you're paying attention to the details.
Thank you.
Sure. What are you using, Verlaine?
I've used some of them. Canva, I haven't actually. Yes, I've used a little bit of Canva, and then I can't Dream Studio, which was actually very easy and fun, and it did a pretty good job. So, but I definitely want to get more into Dolly and Midjourney.
It's so much fun. And you
It
can do
is.
some really cool, let's see, pop that in there. Again, you might have to copy that URL and then put it into your, what's really fun is to do we did some really cool work with ChatGPT where you would write down your ideal day, right? Write it all down. Or type it, actually. Type up your ideal day, like in detail. And you say, I wake up in the morning and there's this really hot guy on the couch offering me coffee, and there's a cute little dog at my feet, and I can hear the waves outside, like as detailed as you can. You write up your like ideal day. You pop it into ChatGPT. You make sure you have Dolly activated, and then you ask ChatGPT to create images based on your ideal day.
Oh
It's
my gosh.
brilliant. It's the coolest thing and so she'll create these images. You make sure that you describe yourself. I'm this gorgeous redhead with curly hair, right? I've got the figure of an 18-year-old, and I'm just kidding. But that's my ideal day. But
Oh,
seriously, and then you can ask ChatGPT, and she'll use Dolly to create images of your perfect day, and then you can download it, you can put it on your desktop so that you're like working towards something, or you can see it and believe it.
one other thing. We've got some children's books that we've written, and can I just put that into a filmmaking program, and that will start developing it and doing animation and so forth? Does that
Yes, you can, but there are certain apps for that. I haven't really tried very many video apps yet, but just remember that if your book is proprietary,
Mm.
so be careful about sharing your book, right?
Right.
So, I
Mm.
mean,
Yeah.
so a lot of people are using ChatGPT to write their book.
Right.
So where do you think she's getting that information? Probably from y'all, right? So that's why I'm just saying, if it's like you actually wrote it with your brain. If you wrote it with ChatGPT's help, that doesn't really matter. It's already out there anyway. But
Right.
if you wrote it from your actual brain, you wrote every single word, you didn't get any editing done by ChatGPT, you wrote it, then I would
Right.
just be a little bit careful about sharing that,
Mm.
right? Inside of ChatGPT, if you don't want it to get out there, at least until after your
Okay.
book is published.
Okay.
Wow, that was amazing session. So we are wrapping up now. It's already a 7, and I
So
didn't realize.
sorry.
It's amazing. It's a 1 hour fly by. So yes, if you guys have any questions, feel free to throw. I'll give a minute or two extra, and then we have another section to start as a GSFE meeting. Power of ask. So let's finish this. 2 more extra minutes. If anybody have a question, either put the virtual hands up or shout. And hey, Carol, you want to speak anything?
No, I'm looking forward to it. We're going to get the recording, right?
Yes, yes. We will send you the recording, everyone,
Yeah.
via email. Yes.
And you can also go back and listen to it inside the Facebook group, because after we log off, then it's up there unless
Yeah.
unless it's removed. And
Yeah.
if anybody feels like they need more support around this, then don't hesitate to schedule a call with me and we'll talk about it.
Okay, then that was wonderful session. You all heard from the Wendy Brar,
Jenna?
founder of the Women's Business Link, who is an AI brand strategist and super connector with a 20 plus years of experience. She has worked with a top brand like MTV, Allure, using AI driven strategies to empower entrepreneurs, elevate brands, and drive meaningful growth. So well done.